All right, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us here today for another installment of our statewide legal aid training initiative. For those who don't know me, my name is Alexis Alvarez. I am the Director of Statewide Training at Florida Legal Services. And yes, I am wearing a coat. And yes, I am outside. For those of you who are in Florida, which all of us pretty much are, it's a little bit of a chilly day, and I am a true Floridian, so I'm wearing a coat. So with that being said, I'm so happy to welcome you all to a really unique training that we have here today. This training, known as From Stressful to Mindful to Joyful in Law Practice, Growing Wellness and Professionalism Together. I've also mentioned it as being the happiest, most effective lawyer you can be when I've been doing some marketing of this. So they are one and the same. This is the training that we're here for today. And through this training, our speaker, Professor Krieger, and I hope that you can approach your law practice, which we know is stressful, which we know is hard, which we know has a lot of demands on who you are as a person and a lawyer, and be able to transcend that into a place where you have happiness, well-being, and joyfulness so you can continue to do the amazing work that you all do. So before I go into introductions of our speaker here today, I would like to thank the Public Interest Law section of the Florida Bar for co-hosting this webinar with us. And I'll drop some information into the chat about how you can join the Public Interest Law section of the Florida Bar. If you haven't heard me make this pitch already, it's a really great organization with different types of subject matter work groups that touch on all aspects of public interest law. So if you're looking for a network and looking for people to be able to bounce ideas off of, please consider joining. And without further ado, I'll do some housekeeping real quick. This is being recorded. A copy of the recording will be emailed to you all within 24 hours from Zoom. That email will not come from me, it'll come from Zoom, but I'll pop my email into the chat. That way, if you don't get it or you want to reach out to me, you certainly can. Additionally, this webinar was approved for CLE credit. Let me double check. It is 1.5 general and 1.5 mental illness CLE credits. I will be popping that CLE code into the chat and announcing it out loud at the end. So stay tuned. But also, if you have to drop off early because we know you all are really busy, you will receive a copy of the recording in an email, like I said, and I will also provide that CLE code in that email. So don't worry, we're going to get you your CLE credits. It's my sincerest pleasure to do so. And with that being said, it is my honor to introduce Professor Lawrence Krieger, Clinical Professor and Co-Director of Clinical Externship Programs at Florida State University College of Law. Professor Krieger is a recognized authority on the well-being of lawyers and law students. He was a litigator for more than a decade, including service as a criminal prosecutor and a chief trial counsel for the Florida Comptroller, where he specialized in complex securities fraud prosecution. He has practiced and taught meditation and mindfulness for more than 50 years and has been clinical professor of law at Florida State University for more than 30 years, training students to practice law with joy and inspiration. So I can't express how thankful I am to have you here, Professor Krieger. So few teachers and mentors do what you do. So we're extremely lucky to have you, and the floor is yours. And you're muted. Unmute.
Yeah, I muted for a change to be cute. And I said, oh, I'll remember that. Well, thank you so much for having me. I have the greatest respect for you all. I really do. I've always, during my litigation years, I'm an old litigator type, and it was all with the state and working for public interest in the government. And for the last several years, just trying to protect people who really had issues with people stealing their money and so forth. So really love you all and appreciate you. I think you do the best work. I was on the board of Legal Services in North Florida here for a decade or more, so I'm very familiar with what Legal Services does. I know you do the same work, but slightly different setup. So let's get going. There's a lot of material here. I'm going to encourage you to have your phone handy, and if you, hopefully you'll take at least 5 things away from this that you can use. It's meant to really be practical. I've been doing this kind of teaching for over 50 years in different modes. But right now, my wife, who's a health coach and a massage therapist and all that, uh, works with me. We teach a course at the FSU Law School on all of this. So we really enjoy it, and it does work. It's a little tough to give it to you in one setting, so I'm just going to encourage you come back to the information, and if you pick 5 or 8 slides that resonate for you, take a snapshot of them so you don't have to go back and look through everything for them. I'll also give you my email at the end if we don't get to questions and you have something or suggestions for me. Just email me. If you don't pick it up, just go to the Florida State University, law school website, or just Google me, Larry Krieger, FSU, and my email will come right up. So with that, let's get going. And of course, there she goes. So, we're starting with the usual, negatives in lawyer well-being. We have some challenges. There's a lot more attention on it now, but the challenges remain. I've noticed in the recent research, the problems really aren't getting better. And I'm going to try to show you exactly why. Actually, I have a new article out on that. And the material that I'm going to give you here will cut across that problem, I think. So, shoot, this thing's not forwarding yet. So, I already covered this. Be looking for 5 takeaways, something you can actually do. You're going to have to change something if you want your life to change, right? If I keep on doing what I always did, I'll keep on getting what I always got. So, you're doing wonderful work. My goal for you, Alexa's goal for you, your goal for you, certainly your family's goal for you is to be happy, joyful, thriving, energetic, loving, just loving life every day, and doing your good work as part of it. So that's the goal here, and just be prepared to change something. I like to emphasize that happiness is a skill set that you have to practice. And so that's what I'll be going over here. You've probably realized by now that I think people come to law school and think, well, I know it's a stressful career and this and that and yeah, but I'm going to be happy. And the answer, as you'll see here from the science, is no. You're not going to be happy if it's stressful. Those 2 things are simply biologically impossible to create at the same time. So you're going to need to make choices, and I'm hoping to show you how here to leave the stress aside. Okay? It can be done. Of course, law school and practicing law tries to get us all up in our head, and there's no joy in our head. So I think you all, because you're on the front line of dealing with real clients, real people, you know that. But here's one to take a snapshot of maybe, which is, here's my goal for you at the end of this talk, to have an idea. And sorry, I'm trying to get this thing out of the way so it's not blocking the slide, but it just doesn't want to go out of the way.
Don't worry, nothing's being blocked. The slide is just showing directly. So
Okay.
whatever's
I'm
blocking,
not
you're
seeing
seeing
the commands on my slide. Okay, good.
Nope.
So see if you can get a snapshot of this one or come back to it. It's around number 5 or 6. This is the goal at the end of all this, to come up with 24 minutes out of your 24-hour day that could really change your day. This is a systematic approach to changing your mindset, changing your physiology, changing your neurology, your brain waves, and changing your emotions in a very practical, simple ways. But you'll need to do it every day to notice changes every day. Okay, so this is just a goal we'll come back to later. Once again, okay. Here's my 6 steps. We'll just look at them one at a time, but we're gonna start with that number 1, which you probably already embraced this one. You know, this is it. I talk to bar associations and law students and all that, and they're all thinking if they make a ton of money and make partner at Cats Holland and Knight or wherever, that now life will be wonderful. And our research shows that that has nothing to do with it. So you already figured that out. You're working at Legal Aid. Wonderful for you. So let's go right there. Embrace the truth that money and status will not make you happy. Yes, they are nice. So we'd all like to get a 50% raise or double our income or triple our income. That would be nice. You'll see research here in a moment. It's just not going to make you happy. So the real takeaway for you all, because you're not on the high end of the mega earners, obviously, just like I never was, is to know, well, that would be nice, but I'm not going to trade in my satisfaction with my work for money or status, because they're not going to make me happy. They're not going to satisfy you. It just can't be done because you're human. Okay, once you're out of the poverty range, at least. Okay, so I think hands-on for you in practice every day, the key thing is if you find yourself complaining about the income, or if you're around coworker here and there who's saying, well, you know, I got to get out of here because the money sucks or this or that, then that's just toxic, and they need to either change their mind or get out, right? Because if you're complaining, it's also impossible to be happy. But this will help to not complain. What we tested in this research, which involved about 6,300 practicing lawyers and judges in 4 states, is we wanted to test, is material success actually making the lawyers happy? And these are the kind of things that we measured, okay? Kind of things you expect will make you happy as a lawyer when you first go to law school. And, you know, and if we can go back to that for a second, basically it's the American dream. I'll have the most of everything. I'll be the best at everything. You know, I'll be abundant, affluent, you know, big house, nice picket fence that somebody else takes care of for me, dogs with papers, all that. And turns out it doesn't make lawyers happy. So here's the result on the 6,200 lawyers, very important. You may want to take a picture of this one too. You can come back to it. 0.7 up there at the top on the left is approaching a nearly perfect correlation with well-being. And by the way, our measure, this is a very well validated measure of happiness. You know, it's not some flip thing. It's actually about 26 different measures added together. Positive emotions, about 9 of them. Negative emotions, anger, frustration, depression, feeling down, feeling low, etc., subtracted out from the positive emotions, and then life satisfaction added in 6 different measures of that. And the things that everybody thought they wanted to get stressed over, like being at the top of the class and making lots of money, are shown here in the red for the 6,200 actual practicing lawyers. How much do they make you happy? You can see those bars are small. Income, class rank, school debt, school rank. Did you go to Duke? Did you go to FSU? Did you go to FIU? Did you go to Harvard, etc.? And then those 2 on the bottom, cut them off. One is made partner in a large law firm, medium to large law firm, and one is being on law review. Okay, so these are the things like if you're in law school or if you're in law practice, those are supposed to be the wow. That's going to be really great. Both of those were actually 0 result for making lawyers happy, not even a blip. Okay, but you can see here high income, doing great in law school, going to the best law school, low debt, all that. It's almost inconsequential compared to these other factors, which are human factors, like autonomy is, are you doing what you want to do in the way you want to do it? Relatedness, do you feel close to other people that are in a meaningful way? Competence, do you feel capable of doing what you're trying to do? Internal motivation, are you working? That one is specific to work. These others are general to life. But internal motivation is your job of being motivated from the inside or the outside. And typically the outside motivations is this red bar on the right, money, right? That's clearly not your main motivation because you could be making more money. So could I. Would I trade my job in? No. So internal motivation is I'm doing the work because two things in psychology actually matter. One, I care about it. It fits my values. It's meaningful to me. It makes me feel useful, like I have a purpose. And number two, I actually like doing it. Day to day, I like showing up and being a legal aid lawyer. If at least one of those isn't strongly true, then you could look at adjusting your job duties, adjusting how you do it, adjusting your relationship with your supervisor possibly, which is the next bar there. Or, and then email me if that doesn't work. We can talk about it. But the next one is autonomy support, also super important, and that's how much you feel supported by your supervisor or supervisors. How much you feel supported as opposed to controlled. And because it's autonomy support, when you feel respected and supported, you're given autonomy, this other high bar to the far left on your screen, which is you feel like you can do it the way you want to do it generally, and you're doing what you want to do. Okay? So those are things that make lawyers happy. These other things really don't. You could be the highest paid lawyer in the world, went to the best law school, you're a partner at the managing partner of the best law firm, and still be totally depressed and miserable, and vice versa. So really, all those material success factors are nice, but they're independent of whether you're going to be happy or not. They're nice, but they don't determine that. So you have to look inside to your relationship to yourself and your relationship to others and your work to decide if you're in a healthy balance or not. And here's the same thing just shown without the bars, with the actual numbers. Okay? You can see from the numbers what makes lawyers happy. So as I mentioned, and again, this is really important for public service lawyers like us. I mean, when I went over to the law school, I could easily left the job I had as chief trial counsel at the state comptroller's office for 4 times what the law school was going to pay me. Easily, other people were doing it. But I've never regretted it because those things actually, turns out, don't make people happy. So for you can see here, right? Mid-law review for the law students, top of the class, irrelevant. Made partner, totally irrelevant, even though their salaries almost doubled. And then bottom line there on the screen, that's you. The lower paid service lawyers, we had what we identified as service lawyers, about between 1,000 and 1,100 in this study, working full-time in public interest and government law. And then we compared them with the about 1,100 prestige lawyers, which were the highest paid, working in the most niche areas, highly respected, super competitive jobs to get all that. And the service lawyers are actually happier than the other ones. So this study actually was in the New York Times. It was reported by the New York Times. It was in their national news section, and it was the most shared article in the whole New York Times paper for 2 days in a row when it first came out, because of this finding that you all on average, and public defenders on average, and Osceola County lawyers and state attorneys and Fort Myers and whatever, on average are happier than these super prestigious lawyers with all the high pay. You're better off. So remember that and appreciate your opportunity to help the people you want to help. If you're there for that purpose, take heart. You just need to focus on that. Don't complain. Very important. Focus on what's actually going to make you happy, and you have it. And if it's not the work you want to do, then be looking around. Okay, the other thing that's really important about all this stress business is that these success values, like making lots of money, making a partner, those kind of things, they're stress inducing. And they can actually generate addictions because of that. All right, let's go on to the second step. Keep it moving. This one flows right from that first one. Focus on connection rather than competition or comparison. Okay. First of all, when you compare yourself with somebody else, either you or the other person loses. It can't be avoided, right? So don't compare. Every time you catch it, just stop. She makes more money than I do. She's has better clothes than I do. I like her house better than mine. She's smarter than me. Whatever it is. Or I'm better than her in some way. You're both losing. So just get rid of it. It's a bad idea. And again, notice the Emerson quote. Just take a second and read it. The greatest achievement being yourself, that actually is borne out exactly by this research. Let me go back to this, which is that tall black bar on the left. That's being yourself. I get to be myself in my job. If you're not appreciated for yourself, who you really are, you need to start showing that more, or get around people who appreciate you, or move on. Plain and simple. Okay? I don't care if you're making $1 million a year or, $1,000 a week. It really doesn't matter. So focus on connection. This was really interesting. Those top 5 factors on that bar chart that I suggested you take a picture of are so huge in terms of scientific correlations. I mean, even in physical sciences, you don't get 60 and 70% correlations very often, but in social science, it's virtually unheard of. A strong correlation might be 0.25, okay? That would be strong. A meaningful correlation might be 0.15, 0.10, depending on the size of the study. But because ours were so big, we did what's called a factor analysis, mathematical factor analysis, to analyze those 5 top predictors of well-being, which again are autonomy, or your sense of being who you are truly, relatedness, your feeling of connectedness, intimacy with important others in your life, whether it's work or home or both, internal motivation, again, that your work reflects who you are and what you want to do. And autonomy, support your relationship with supervisors. Is it respectful and mutually understanding and so forth? So, and what this factor analysis showed is actually mathematically, they're all one thing. They're all something deeper and more fundamental that we didn't measure. And what we've figured out over the years since we did that study, which is a few years now, is that they all represent a connection that you feel to something very important in your life. Yourself. I'm connected to who I truly am, which is autonomy. Relatedness, others at work, home, wherever. Connected to them, that's important in a meaningful way. Connected to my work in a meaningful way, feeling capable of doing it, the competence thing, and the internal motivation. And then feeling connected to my boss in a meaningful way. We have mutual respect and so forth. So it makes, being happy and really joyful in life, now it's getting simpler and simpler to look for the connection, the sense of connection all day long in different ways, to yourself, to others, and to your work. All right? We'll come back to that. This is a good picture of it. You're one of the plugs, and then what you're connecting to is the other plug. You'll notice the connection to money didn't get the big jump in well-being. And the reason is there's no life in money. Money is a symbol for stuff. Okay? The connection to a great resume didn't pop it up, right? The connection to a title like, oh, I'm a partner now, didn't do it because there's no life in being a partner. It's just a label. It just makes you different from other people rather than connected to them. And so you can think of this kind of single key to being happy, whether you're a lawyer, a dad, a mom, a friend, a sister, a brother, a tennis partner, whatever role you're in, the secret is to feel a meaningful connection to yourself, others, and your purposes in life. And for that, you're connecting to another source or another center of life. You're obviously a center of life. And when life connects to life, you get more life. Pops up. Here's so hopefully this isn't too abstract for you. I mean, I know you understand it intellectually, but this is actually the way it works, folks. There's the number, 6,200 lawyers. Nobody's ever done a study like this before, lawyers or anyone else, where we were able to quantify not only exactly what is making them happy, but how much it's making them happy. Not just that it's significant, which is what you're going to see in every other scientific study, but how significant. Is it close to, if my salary goes up a full unit, how much does my happiness go up? Oh, only 16%. If my feeling of connection to others in my life goes up by a whole unit, how much does my happiness go up? Oh, 65%, right? No one's done a study like that before that I'm aware of, and this really showed the difference. So this is another way to think about this connection factor, the one unifying factor to keep in mind as you wake up in the morning, go to bed at night. You can think, how am I going to stay connected to myself today? Maybe you're religious, connect to God, connect to nature, connect to what's meaningful to you. The more you're disconnected, the more unhappy you're going to be, plain and simple. And remember that slide I started with the lawyer or with the book head? My wife creates these great slides. Being up in your head means being disconnected from life. It's all about thinking, right? There's no joy there. There's no love there. It's just thinking. And so it has its value, and we need to do it as lawyers, but it's not a source of, intrinsically a source of satisfaction, right? It will lead you to the ability to serve, to appear in court, to stand up for people that need your support, need your voice. You have to do that thinking, but it's not the thinking that's going to bring you the joy. It's what that enables you to do with your mouth, with your heart, with your body. Okay? So here's a great quote that got me going on this. Love is life intensified. Famous, I think, Catholic thinker here, Thomas Merton, or priest. Again, it's that plug thing. Love is life intensified right here. You come together with someone you love, it's wow, so wonderful. You hold your kitten or a puppy or your child in your lap. Wow, so wonderful. Love is that connecting force in life. So that's really what our factor analysis and this study showed. If you had to break it down to one thing, lawyers need love, just like every other human being. Need self-love, meaning I feel connected to who I am. Love toward others and the world, if you will, clients, your garden, your home, whatever it is, and then your purpose in life. One warning there, to feel connected to yourself, litigation can really set us up to cut corners when it comes to being entirely truthful and all that. You must really be truthful and follow your conscience. If you don't, you break that connection with yourself, that number one predictor of wellness, autonomy. Okay? There's the book head. It's not going to work. Disconnected from self, disconnected from life, disconnected from reality, just up here thinking. And that'll get us thinking about the future, thinking about other people, just get us out of our life and our work. And that means anxiety, comparison, negativity, etc. So try to stay down in your heart a bit of the day. My wife has this great music embedded in these slides, but I'm going to try to cover all of this for you. So here's one you might want to take another snapshot of. Here's a little practice to make this real for you. And going back to that first snapshot I suggested for you, the 24 minutes and 24 hours, this is one of those things that's referred to there. And I suggest that you do this at least 5-6 times a day for a minute. At work, you need to take breaks, right? And by the way, when you take breaks, the science is all about, if you've been sitting for work, you need to get up every 40 minutes at least, hour at the very least, and walk around for a minute or two. You need to get up and move your body. But that's another point, which is just staying alive and healthy. Now we're talking about how do we connect to ourselves during the day. You're up in your head, you're doing all this analysis, you're trying to manage a caseload. I get it. So you have to keep coming home, and what I suggest is use a timer. There's something called a Pomodoro timer. It looks like a tomato. I don't know why, but a lot of people use this thing. You could use your phone, set it for every hour on the hour, or every half hour, whatever you can do, every 40 minutes. And when it dings you, just stop for a minute and connect to yourself. This is a little meditation or mindfulness practice that will really work for you. So it's a webinar. I can't see you, which is not my favorite thing, but there's a good number of you on here, so that wouldn't work anyway. But I'm going to encourage you to take a few seconds now and just walk through this with me, but definitely take a snap of this or come back to it, because this will work for you. If you spend 7 minutes a day on this in 5 or 6 pauses of a minute to a minute and a half, it could change your work day and you won't be as tired at the end of the day. Okay? So that little dinger goes off, or you notice it's on the hour or whatever, so you're going to shift your posture a little bit to make a break from what you've been doing. Get off your screen for sure. Just close it, turn your chair away, stand up, go sit somewhere else for a minute. Open up your posture a little bit, whether you're sitting or standing, just a little taller, comfortable. Start some open, easy breaths, a little slower, a little fuller than normal, nothing amazing. You can do this right now. You can close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Leave them open and just downcast in front of you if not. But you want to move your attention inside your body while you're doing this, because you're connecting to yourself. Okay? So the breaths help you open up, and then when you take those breaths, just let your attention go inside into your chest with your breath. You can even imagine or picture what you know is happening, which is your lungs are filling up, and then that oxygen is being taken to every cell in your body, head to foot, pretty much instantly. It's a constant flow. So as you breathe and let your attention go inside, just have a picture or an image of your whole body being filled up with life, which is literally what you're doing, okay? Remember, backing up a couple of slides, from our factor analysis, connecting to life creates more life. That's why the lawyers are happy when they are connected with themselves, others, or their purpose in life. Okay? So this is an exercise in life, your attention, your intelligence, your awareness, connecting to the life inside you, your breath, your body. Life connecting to life, and you're becoming really integrated, more autonomous, more whole, more healthy, instantly. your immune system is improving and increasing and getting brought to life, literally, when you do this. Innumerable benefits, but that's one of them. Okay? So shift posture, start some nice, slow, easy breaths. Let your attention be inside. You can picture your whole body receiving that breath, which it is. And then just notice how you feel. You're not trying to change how you feel. Just notice how you feel with your attention inside your body. This is you connecting to you. Okay? That's what I call integrated pause. And then we'll move on. Get a picture of this if you don't have it.
And Professor, how often do you think someone should do that in a day to connect?
Um,
I feel like I need it every 5 minutes.
yeah, and if you start feeling overwhelmed, anxious, oh my God, here, I forgot I've got this pleading due by this date, or oh my God, I was supposed to get that proposed order in, or yikes, there's a client waiting out there that I didn't realize she was coming to as soon as you feel overwhelmed, you can do it on an as-needed basis. It will become automatic if you do it regularly. Let's do it right now again. Let's just take 10 seconds now. Imagine you just got something that flipped you out. Okay. Take a breath. Your eyes are open. You're working, but take a breath. Move your attention inside your body. Okay? And just notice how you feel in there. As you make space in there and put your attention there, your nervous system will settle down. So that's as needed. How often to do it for culturing your nervous system to stay in that relaxed, healthful state? Like I was saying, I would try to do it at least once an hour, use a timer, and just set your phone or a timer that's made for the purpose for a pleasant little ding once an hour, or if you can, every 45 minutes, even better. If you can do it for 1 minute, great. If you can do it for 90 seconds, good. But that's enough time. And then you'll see thanks for the question, when we get back to that 24 and 24 slide, if we do, and if not, go back to it on your camera or from the PowerPoint that Alexis will send you, or from watching this again. You'll see that that's part of the components recommended here. Take a pause 5 or 6 times a day. And then there's a few minutes in the morning to get started, and a few minutes in the evening where you can do this or things related to it that I'll get to in a bit. Okay, so it's a whole day plan in that one slide that we started with. Okay, this will help. I do this in paper. For law schools, they get them hundreds at a time because they're super cheap in paper. It's on Amazon. You can read it on your laptop, free download for Kindle, whatever. This is $3 on Amazon, and it has that pause in the appendix described in it very well, and a second practice in there as well. So you may want to look for this. I'm not retiring on your $2.99, minus the Kindle cut, but you'll find a lot of good information in this, I think. All right, and then let me look at what we're doing. Oh, good. And then here's the second practice that I'm suggesting, which is, and this is described in that little blue book also, Create Success Without Stress, is to start noticing and kind of celebrate those connection moments you have. They're there. The fact that you get to go to work and help people that you want to help. That's a huge connection to yourself, your own values, your own sense of purpose for your life, your time, your precious energy. How are you going to use that? The fact that you have a job that allows you to do that is a huge connection moment. Don't miss it and take it for granted and let work be drudgery. Start to celebrate these things just appreciate it. Same thing for others. I'm going to go help those people. My secretary is so great. Oh my God, I love him or her. Whatever it is. And then in the little book, I suggest make a journal of this, a little connections journal. Keep it by your bed and write in it for 1 or 2 minutes every night before you go to bed. Here's For this day, I remember connecting to myself, to my purpose, to my values, to how I feel, even if it was crappy. Fine. You could feel crappy. Don't cover it up with food or coffee or yelling at people to dump it out on them. Just connect, notice, and do that pause. Notice how you feel, breathe, make space for it. It will dissipate and you'll get stronger and stronger, you know. And again, you're bumping up your immune system. So important these days. You know, everybody's worrying, did you get another vaccine yet? You know, that thing is going to keep morphing. There's going to be more vaccines than we can all get, right? And so the immune system becomes really more and more important. And this is how you care for your immune system, is be joyful. That's your immune system. If you think about it, what's the experience of joy? Think about that. I feel so joyful. I want you to think about this. When's the last time you could say this? I feel so alive. Try this one. I feel so alive. Think about that. Say it to yourself right now. Take a breath. And now, if you feel really down right now, don't say I feel so alive. Say I feel alive. If you're down, go to neutral. If you're neutral or good, go to excellent. Okay, so make it a place you can reach, but take a breath. Let that attention be inside with your breath and just say to yourself, I feel alive in here. That's a great thing to recognize and celebrate, because feeling alive is actually feeling joyful. Nobody thinks about that, right? You can't have somebody graduate from college every day so you get to have a joyful day, you know? You can't have a baby born or go buy a new puppy or have a closing on a house every day so you get to be joyful. It can't come from out here. It needs to be in here. And when you think about that experience, I feel so alive. What does that feel like? There's the best feeling you can feel, right? I feel so alive. Right? That really enlivened me. How about this one? So do you know Alexis? What's she like? Have you ever seen her? And somebody says, oh yeah, she's so full of life. She's so full of life. Right? Can you think of anything better you'd want to hear about yourself? Man, she is so full of life. He's so full of life. So this is a great realization. You know, you don't have to reach very far to be happy and joyful. You just have to understand your life is inside here waiting for you to notice it and blow it up. Plug into it, enhance it, and feel joyful and alive in here. And then carry it out into your work. We'll come back to that. And all these connections will help. So this one really belongs with a later. Oh, okay. That's why I've got this here. One of the reasons that you'll see every dang practice you run into, they're all different, but they virtually all involve breathing, is because it works, okay? Just because of the way the autonomic nervous system works. I won't get into the details right now. But your breath, when it's slower, a little slower, a little fuller than usual, will settle down all of your system through this one nerve, the vagus nerve, one of your cerebral nerves. All right. I was just alluding to this third step. Realize that your life is inside, that all your achievement starts there, and then go there often. Like that one? Everything starts inside, folks. We're all so carried away with outside. This is one reason everything's so stressful, is we're trying to keep everything together outside here so we can be okay. No. It's not like, well, when I get everything outside here lined up, then I can be okay. You're never going to be okay. Right? Have you got everything lined up yet? I haven't. Still working on it. I've been working a few decades on it. Still, everything isn't lined up. Just when I think I'm getting close, something else comes around the corner, right? So that's not your life. I want you to think about it like this and it will help. And we've already been talking about it, doing that little practice and looking inside. Your life is inside you. You have 37 trillion cells. If you had 37,000 cells, okay, that's a small city, 37,000. Now, if you had 1,000 cells in here, all alive, all full of energy, all intelligent, all active, all coordinating with each other, if you had 37,000 of those, and then for each of those, you took 1,000, so then you had 37 million, that would be a really huge city. Okay? And we're talking about what you actually have is 1,000,000 times 37 million. You have 37 trillion cells in here, all alive, all humming around. Energy, intelligence, right? You could get excited about this. I'm getting excited about it just talking about it, all right? This is the point. Your life is inside you. Out here, is it important? Yes, but it is not your life. Do not let this be your life. Because things out here are going to disappoint you, and you still have your life. Right? Your life is in here. Out here, you could say, is my life choices, my life activities, my life circumstances, my life events. Right? Go up and down. I hope it's beautiful, but it's not your life. It's the way you're choosing to spend your life. You get this is the bank in here. You go in there, you build up the bank, and then you take the money to the marketplace. All these activities is the marketplace for your life, okay? So go there often, and that's what I was just talking about on the slide and with Alexis. Go there often, 5, 6 times a day. Take that little pause. It's so easy. Oh my God. And it works. Okay, we just talked about that. Other than the last piece, all your achievement starts there. Why? Because everything you have that matters, really, everything you have, not all the things that you are associated with, like children and a home and all that. You do not have those things, right? You connect to those things. You love those things, but what you have is part of you, and that's where your achievement comes from. Your energy, your intelligence, your creativity, your enthusiasm. What? Your vitality, your life, right? You go to work, you interview for a job and they say, what'd you think? He was so full of life. You didn't get that job, okay? So you recognize everything I'm doing out here, whether it's for my children, my clients, my puppies, right? My backyard garden. That all starts in here with your inspiration, and you can only give what you have. You give your life to these things, but you have to keep renewing it. That's why you go inside. The 2 plugs. You take your attention in there, you notice the life inside you, and it's like putting more wood on a fire that's burning. You just keep tending the fire. In this profession, and certainly in your job, people talk about burnout, right? What's burnout? Burnout is when you're burning the fire hot, just like you want, and you forget to put more wood on the fire. It burns out, right? Your fire's in here, not out here. This is the heat from your fire. You got to keep your fire burning in here, and this is what self-care is supposed to be about. But this is like advanced self-care from this factor analysis of what actually makes lawyers happy. And then that quote from Thomas Merton, that love is life intensified, right? Love is life intensified. All you're doing is increasing life, but to increase life, you got to go in there where it is and jam it up with your attention, okay? So there's your inner resources. Nobody can give you any of this, not a thing. Your spouse can't give it to you, your boss can't give it to you, your kids can't give it to you. You could have 10 kids, send them all to Harvard Medical School, they're all at the top of the class, gives you none of this. Okay, so in order to help other people, you got to help yourself first. here's a good picture of how nature organizes powerful systems. You're going to be a powerful system. Claim your center. And there it is. Look at that beautiful picture. I think that's that was Michael, the one that hit Panama City right over here. But you know, you want to be powerful on the outside. You need that silent center, and you need to go there and keep refreshing it. Otherwise, you will burn out. When this storm broke up, and every storm breaks up because why? It loses its center. And then it just becomes diffuse and pretty much powerless. So you just remember, go in there, and it's easy. Get the little blue book. Here's another example of how to do that pause. I guess this is a little more explicit, and I call this ABC meditation. This is my version of how to do it where you can remember it. So let's do it again for a minute here, if you're willing. And I want to remind you, if you're just watching this for CLE, okay, hopefully something works for you. If you don't do anything, you're going to get no benefit, right? Who's that guy? Einstein said, all education is experience. Everything else is information. All education is experience. Everything else is information. If you're watching this for information, there's a lot of information. It's not going to help you a bit. Not a bit. So you have to turn it into experience. So take a chance to do some stuff you haven't. And a lot of you probably already do stuff like this. You're into mindfulness and whatnot. Great. I hope you are. This is a version of it. This is, again, described in that little blue book. But notice my A, it goes ABC. So A is awareness and allow everything. Awareness and acceptance. So just, we're awake, so we have awareness. Take a breath, which is B here. Notice how you feel. That's awareness. And then don't try to change anything. Just let it be. That's allowing or appreciating everything. Okay? And then B, when you're having those breaths, feel your whole body, because your breath is enlivening your whole, enlivening, there's that word life again. It's enlivening your whole body. And then C, just notice, okay, I'm now in possession of myself. I'm connected to myself. What the old prof said, oh, that's what those 6,000 lawyers show. You connect to yourself, you've got a 0.7 benefit for well-being. Okay? Very big. All right, so Alexis, this is another piece of what you were asking about. This again refers back to that 24 minutes in 24 hours. And when I say 24 minutes in 24 hours, I'm talking about do it 1, 2, 3 minutes at a time, not one 24-minute sitting or walking, although that's better than nothing, certainly. But you have to keep coming back to yourself, keep coming back to your joy, keep coming back to your life, keep coming back, and it becomes a habit, so you never lose your life. You never lose that groundedness to yourself, okay? Or in that graphic of the storm, you never lose your center. If that I stayed there with integrity, that storm would never break up, right? It's never going to, now that's spinning out as opposed to burning out. But if you keep your fire going inside you, you can't burn out. Logical impossibility, okay? So what happens is we give too much out, we give more than we have, right? Keep giving, you get depleted unless you keep coming back in and renewing yourself. So that's all this is, 24 minutes a day. But here's ways to do it that don't require formal meditation and all that. Now you notice that pause. Let's do it again for a few seconds while I'm talking. Just breathe. Let your attention be anchored inside your body while you're listening to me. Start practicing this, okay, for a minute. And what I'm saying is, notice all the time you have when your attention is free during the day. Do not drain it away with screens. Do not be obsessively on your phone every time you have a moment of free attention, like most people are. You're just blowing your life off, okay? Because attention is life. So when you're walking from your car into a building, when you're getting stuff out of your trunk, when you're washing the dishes, when you're vacuuming the floor, when you're mowing the lawn, when you're walking the dog, when you're at the gym, if you go to the gym, when you're at a yoga class. Anytime you have free attention, use it. Have some attention inside yourself. This is where the bank is. Go to the bank. Breathe. Have your attention in there. You're generating more life just by being inside yourself while you're walking from your car. You're walking down the hall to go to the bathroom. Walking down the hall to get a cup of coffee or a drink of water. You got free attention invested in yourself. Just be inside and breathe. You're going to feel so much better by the end of the day. And that all adds up. That's part of your 24 minutes, folks. Okay? So those breaks from work and study, number 2 there, any of that movement I just talked about. How about meals? My wife says, have your attention on your food and on your body when you're eating. If you can do that, great. Not on your phone and work and all that. You're just interfering with your digestion. Then we wonder why we have acid reflux and all kind of digestive problems and elimination problems and low immune system and all that. That's why. But I would say at least make it a challenge for yourself the first 1 minute of every meal, if you're not going to do the whole meal. Then the first 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to do that pause. I'm going to eat my food gently. I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to have my attention inside and feel my life being nurtured by my attention, by my breath, and by my food. 2 minutes at each meal, there's 6 minutes out of your 24 for the day. 24 adds up real fast if you do these things, okay? Another time that works fantastic for this pause or that ABC meditation or just slow, easy breathing when you're falling asleep, when you're waking up, when you decide to take a 3-minute rest after you get home, but before you cook dinner for your kids or whatever it is. Great. Do it. Go inside, breathe, put a little smile on your face. Did you know, by the way, when you smile, your brain actually reacts instantly with health generating neurotransmitters and hormones instantly, hundreds of them. Because a smile on your face, just a gentle half smile, gives a signal to your brain that you're safe. So it completely contradicts that stress response. So I always suggest with that ABC meditation or the pause that we've been doing, do it again for a few seconds here while I'm talking. Just breathe, let your attention follow your breath inside to your lungs, to your solar plexus right here. Okay? Feels so good. Once you get used to it, it's like, wow, this is really easy. It feels great. I'm alive inside. There's the goal, folks. You're becoming full of life. You're going to be that person that everybody says, she's so full of life. Oh, you got to do this a little bit. Fill yourself up with life. It's super simple. Just put your attention where your life is inside. Okay? And then smile. If you can put a little half smile on your face while you're doing that, even better. It happens to me automatically. You know? Time in nature, even better. So, all right. So taking breaks, I've already talked about this. Get off your screens. Are you taking a break or are you getting broke? You're depleting your attention and your energy. You're tiring your eyes and your brain out more? Or are you actually refreshing them? Come on. So this becomes addictive. Get off it. Get off it. Invest that free attention in your health and in your life, which is all inside. Okay? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at a time. It's a good book, a little short one, Practicing the Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. He's super famous for The Power of Now. This is a shorter version that has a lot of practices like this. I've developed a lot of stuff from out of there. I was a meditation teacher starting since 1972, actually. Transcendental meditation, it's a deeper meditation. this is a wonderful book for these short restoring and resetting practices right here. I've enjoyed this for probably 15 years. All right, and then self-care when it comes to your body, everybody, oh, I should be exercising more, walking more, eating better, sleeping better, whatever it is, all those shoulds, right? In my different places I go for my support, we say don't should on yourself, right? And don't think, well, I'll do it later. Right? Yeah, I'll do, I got all these deadlines right now and then I'll get to it. Then never gets here. It's always now. Are you doing it now is the question. And so once you realize all my life is inside me, my energy is there, my joy is there. If I'm stressed, it's inside me. And my brain, which is where I do so much of my work, my legal work, that's actually part of my body too. If my body is 60% efficient, my brain is 60% efficient. Huh? So let me start taking care of my body and create a little plan. We've already gone through a big part of that little plan is have some movement through the day. Remember that free attention slide? Let me go back to that. That first line there, that's all movement. Walking your dog, vacuuming the floor, working in your garden. Okay, anything but sitting still in your chair or in your car is movement. And so there's your number one physical health plan is move your body. Sitting is the new smoking. People have heard that probably. So true. They've calculated now exactly how many minutes of life expectancy you lose for every minute you're sitting past 20 minutes. It's for real. And if you think about it, it makes sense because the number one quality that identifies life is flow or movement, right? You can't even take a breath without flow or movement. And the opposite of flow or movement is blockage. Right? Blockage equals medical problems. I don't care where the blockage is. Could be blockage in your breath, could be blockage in your digestion, could be blockage in your eye, could be anywhere there's blockage, your heart, your arteries. You got a blockage of flow. So movement is critical. Number one, plan for your body. Move. So right now I'm giving this talk, I'm standing up, I have a standing workstation. It is not pretty at home here, it's just a stack of boxes that I put things on. Works great. And then I sit down to take a break. Feel much better at the end of the day. So that's number one. Number two is, of course, food. I should be eating this, we're shitting on ourselves again. We have to do something. And the reason we don't do something is we think, there's so much I should be doing. No, there's not so much. There's just one little thing to change today. And you pick whatever it is. The Tiny Habits, wonderful book. Take a picture of that. You want to improve your life routines as far as exercise or diet or sleep or anything else, how you keep your house, how you keep your office space. Get that book right there, Tiny Habits, B.J. Fogg. He runs an institute at Stanford University. Okay? Well, I'll give it to you in a nutshell, save you the $25. Decide what change you want to make and make the smallest, tiniest step to it for the first week. So you say you decide, well, I want to get where I can run half a mile 3 times a week, or every day, or whatever it is. Say you want to do that. Okay. Or I want to walk 2 miles a day, or a mile every day, or a mile every day. Make a decision based on your situation. Here's what I want to do. And then B.J. Fogg is going to tell you, okay, don't try to go out and start running. You're just going to get discouraged. You won't be able to do it. You're going to get discouraged and you'll quit. And then you'll be down on yourself on top of not having changed anything because now you failed again. So his tiny habits is like this. Okay, you want to run a half a mile 3 times a week? Something that's realistic for some of us. go get a pair of shoes you like. That's your assignment for this week. Get a pair of shoes that you like, that you'd love to put those on and run. So this week, get a pair of shoes. Next week, put the shoes by the front door every night before bed. 7 days, put the shoes by the front door and picture yourself getting in the shoes. Third week, go to the front door every morning, put the shoes on. For 7 days, take them off. Got it? Fourth week, go to the front door, put the shoes on, walk outside and walk 3 houses down and back. Do that for a week. Fifth week, walk 10 houses down and back. Sixth week, start jogging a little bit. Go 5 houses back, down and back. Got it? By the 10th week, you'll be running maybe a quarter of a mile at a time. And you'll feel the constant development of that habit, and you'll be feeling good about yourself instead of failing. So the key is, it needs to be a step towards something you really want to do, not somebody told you you should do, not something you think you should do. Should is not going to work. In the tall black bars that make lawyers happy, should is down here. It has to be something you want to do. It's autonomous. It's coming from inside you. I want to feel better. I want to be alive longer for my spouse, for my kids, whatever, right? I've got 3 stepkids here. My wife is younger than me, and she's a health coach who's been working out in multiple gyms for 25 years. You know, I want to be around, so I'm going to do this stuff. And then take little steps that you can do, and then celebrate. The other thing he says is you must celebrate. Ah, great, I bought those shoes. Pat yourself on the back. Hold your heart. This is good. I'm going to support myself this time. I'm doing the little steps I can do. All right? So make a plan, tiny steps. Hey, here's our friend. 24 and 24. If you didn't snap a picture before, get it now. This is just an idea. You could make it 30 minutes. You can do it whatever you want. But notice, start positive, and I'm giving you 5 minutes here out of the 24. You don't have 24 minutes for your health and your well-being and your joy and experiencing love and more freedom in your life, then you're not as smart as they thought you were when they let you into law school, right? How much time are you going to lose just being sick once, if you could be healthier and avoid 1 cold or 1 flu a year? Going to save you days. We all get sick in this house. We catch stuff, but we get over it. Usually same day, sometimes next day. You know, it's amazing. And it's just because of having routines where you realize my life is inside me. All I need is life. And your life is literally your immune system, right? Your immune system depends on the same thing, flow. It has to be able to move. It has to be alert. It has to be able to find the invaders and neutralize them. The vaccines are great. They're not helping your immune system. What they're trying to do is keep you from reacting to the invader in the first place. Your immune system takes over primarily when you get the infection, and then your immune system kicks in and says, oh, something's going on, let me get rid of it. Okay, that's part B. And that one is, so you catch it and you get over it quickly with few symptoms. So that's a lot of what we focus on here, and it does work. So 5 minutes to start the day, make it positive. You could do some of that pause, but something that gets you moving and positive, all right? Maybe a quick journal about what I hope to do today, or pick a positive word. My word for today is energy. I want to have more energy. Okay, well, I'll breathe more. Or your word for today is breath. Your word for today is being alive. Your word for today is kindness. Your word for today is gratitude or appreciation. I want to appreciate everything I see today. You're living in heaven if you appreciate everything you see today. Nobody can stop you. right? It's just a choice. So you take 5 minutes. One of the great things, pick your favorite music, put it on every morning, and dance around for 3 minutes. Get your flow going in your body. Breathe, smile, get all these little tricks going. Have your attention inside. That's free attention. And you're just lighting yourself up for the day. 5 minutes. Okay? And then, Alexis, there's that pause once an hour, ballpark, for 6 times a day or so, 6 minutes. Could be 8 times. We got students who are doing it 8 or 10 times because they like it. Oh, now you're up to 10 minutes a day. All right. And then a couple of 5 minute, maybe extra things where you're walking, exercising a little bit, doing yard work, chores, but moving around and having your attention inside with activity. And then what we call a wind down, or maybe 3-4 minutes to close out the day, slow your nervous system down. Journal, maybe that connection journal that I mentioned. Here's when I felt true to myself today. Here's when I felt good about something I said or did with someone, right? Here's when I connected to my purpose. Okay, this, folks, this would be another seminar. This would be way fun. Remember, my wife's in the American College of Sports Medicine, among many other things behind her name. I mean, she's a genius on the body. And I've been learning a lot of this stuff from her. And then I developed it myself because I've been teaching meditation, like I said, for right at 50 years now, just past 50. And I've been doing Tai Chi for maybe 30 years, so it's like a moving meditation. And so I take the stuff she does and I integrate it with the stuff I know to get these slow, moving meditations that are super strengthening and integrated with breath. So all these things here, I actually have a date with our AV guy at the FSU Law School in 2 days, 2 work days, Monday afternoon. I'm going to get with him and we're going to make a probably 3, hopefully good quality 10-minute videos where I'm going to demonstrate all these things and talk people through it. Proper breath, how these movements look, how you could integrate the breath with the movement, integrate that smile, integrate positive thoughts, all that. So, Alexis, you and I can keep in touch. I'll make those available. People are happy to visit those and get on board, because during those 2 5-minute breaks during the day, or at the start of the day or the end of the day, those few minutes, you could be doing these things. Super empowering for your body, your mind, and your emotions.
That would be great. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, let's talk about this one. We won't make all 6, but you get any one of these steps, you got it. This one's a big one. Stress management. Boo. Sorry. We're more aggressive about that here, and we also study the psychology of it. So stress management, I know that's what, the big call is, and it's been that way for years, maybe a decade or 2 now. Stress management, it's not working. The research is just as bad as it was. If you're doing stress management, it's helping you, and I know many of you are doing it, so I don't want to diss it. What I'm saying is, and I've got an article coming out about that soon, is that it's bad thinking. Stress management. I mean, if there were, want ads in the newspapers anymore, let's imagine, go back to the old days, right? Here I am still dreaming about when I was looking for jobs in the newspaper. But if I saw a want ad for stress management, you come manage our stress for us, I don't think I'd want that job, right? Because I don't want to be immersed in stress. That's the problem with stress management. And we all believe it, that our jobs are so stressful and the law is so stressful, and for students, the law school is so stressful, and because you believe it, you make it true. There's lots of scriptures like that. What you believe is what you get, right? As you believe, so it's done unto you. And I can tell you exactly how it works. So I will in a minute, but the point here about this step is rather than becoming a stress manager, be a life manager. Be a joy manager. Manage your love. Manage your attention. Manage positives. The more you manage positives, the more you see things in terms of them. The more you manage stress, the more you see things in terms of stress. I'm so glad I'm doing stress management now, because look how stressful my day was. Oh my God. That lawyer, and oh my God, that client went off on me, so ungrateful. Oh my God, my caseload. Oh my God, my low pay. As soon as you get into managing stress, you're getting into a negative mindset. That's why lawyers aren't getting better. We're doing stress management and work-life balance. Same problem. Work-life balance is better than work-life imbalance, but it's too limiting, too negative. First of all, why would you put work before life? Oh my God, right? You're going to say, oh, work-life balance. What comes, highest first? How about let's put life first? So that's an improvement, life-work balance. Still a problem. What's the problem? You're excluding work from your life. This is crazy. This is just crazy when you look at the words. And our cells, those 37 trillion cells, actually hear our thoughts. It's very, very clear. If we get to it, I'll show you the research, but we may not. As soon as you have a thought, positive or negative, you have hundreds, literally hundreds, of positive or negative neurotransmitters and hormones being generated in your brain and all through your body. Stress management, negative. It's trying to manage a negative, which is affirming the negative. So you manage it, but here comes more. Well, let me manage that, and here comes more. Let me manage that. Same with work-life balance. These are not opposed. If your work is opposed to your life, you've got the wrong work and you have the wrong idea about life. So, remember this. Somebody read this one. In the law, we tend to glamorize stress. It's stressful, therefore it's good, because that's what we do. We're lawyers. You're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be stressed. No, I'm sorry, that's crap. I don't buy it. I know where it's coming from. I'm not saying the work isn't demanding, but as soon as you say it's stressful, you are messing up your mind-body system. Let me give you a better option here. And I understand, okay? As a prosecutor, I had 300 new cases every week. Every week, 300 new cases. To add on to whatever I hadn't closed out from before. When I'm doing jury trials all the time, yeah. If you say it's stressful, your body hears it and it goes into the stress response and you're stressed. So first we have to get rid of any glimmer of any idea that stress is good for me. Well, if I'm stressed, I work harder. Well, you may work harder, but you work poorer. Because look at all the things that shut down when you're stressed. All this. So just read the list. This is your life, and you're shutting it down by being stressed. So I'm not saying you're going to stop having a demanding job. I'm going to say you're going to stop being stressed if you're willing. You want all this to be better? Stop being stressed. Okay? Can you do it? Not if you don't think you can. And yes, if you think you can. When I was in officer training, everybody was freaking out. I was not freaking out. I thought it was fun. Yeah, so much so that my training officer called me and he said, "What is going on with you? I just got these peer reviews. Half the people on your team think you're wonderful, and half of them think you're crazy." because I was just going around trying to encourage everybody. Say, come on, don't take it so serious, guys. Just do your best. Just do your best, right? And you had people in law school like this, right? Some are freaking out. There are those people that are cruising through. They're just not that worried. Same in law practice. Same judges on the bench. Some of them are pleasant, relaxed, understanding, giving grace to everybody. They may be very demanding. You may not like their rulings, but they're more like her. They're composed, they're peaceful, and most of them are more like him, right? As are most lawyers. What's the difference? Mindset, expectation, okay? I like to point this out real quick. 4-minute mile, it was impossible for 70, 80 years. People were shooting for it. And then suddenly one guy in England did it in 1954. In 1955, 3 people in the same race did it because they realized it's possible. So I'm telling you, yes, it is possible to not be stressed. Change your mind. Change it. Now, what you're going to do, and I get the students to do this, and it is working. I can't believe. I had the students after I gave them this talk this semester. One, that very week, he had a domestic violence incident happen at his house between his wife and the father of her kids came over, and it was apparently a bad situation. And I had told them, okay, your assignment for this week, don't say stress for a week. Don't even say it. Anytime you want to say it, say challenge or demand. It is the same thing without the negative connotation. I've got a lot of demands on me right now. I got a lot, that's going to be really challenging. Stressful, bad. Challenging, good. Take the challenge and step up to it. All that you're doing is changing the word and you're changing the emotion. Right? Work is about, you got stuff to do. Those are called challenges or demands. If you got a lot of work, you got a lot of challenges or a lot of demands. Don't turn it into a stress party. Just messing up your brain and your body. So, step up to the challenge with a positive emotion like, hey, I'm so glad I got a job. I get to help more people. Oh my God, there's a lot of people. Some of them may just have to wait. Maybe the judge won't be that happy with me. Okay, not going to get stressed about it, the magic word. Or you can, you pick. But you have to change your mind if you're going to change your life, all right? So you master stress, don't manage it. And remember the step, the way I said it, is drop stress entirely. First from your vocabulary, then from your expectation, and then from your identity. We have created an identity for lawyers as stressed people. We got to get rid of that. So stop. Do we expect more work tomorrow? Yeah. You expect it to be stressful? You're already reacting to it with negative biochemistry and negative brain waves, and your immune system is going to crap because you're expecting stress tomorrow. How about I expect more clients tomorrow? I expect more cases tomorrow. I expect more challenges tomorrow. Great. Nothing negative about that. That's what you're getting paid for. Is it a lot? Yeah. Great. Come on, let's step up and do it as best we can. And of course, you have to accept your healthy limits. You do the best reasonable preparation you can and let it go. That's all you can do. Been there. Okay, I actually counted one time. I handled about 40,000 cases from start to finish in my litigation, 11 years litigating. All kinds, mostly criminal, but a lot of civil, a lot of regulatory, some bankruptcy, even a class action or two. Don't let it be stressful. Just change your mind, okay? And then use your breath when you're feeling overwhelmed, starting to get tense. Use your breath and clean it up. Use that pause. Back to that one again. When you breathe, you're deactivating the stress response in all these organ systems at the same time. All right. And I think we are coming up on our time. We have just a couple more minutes. I'm going to remind you about this one. One more chance to snap a picture. It is described in the little Amazon book, $3. Create success without stress. I've got another one coming out. There's I don't show it here. Hopefully it'll be out in about 4 months, called What This Talk Is, From Stressful to Mindful to Joyful. And you can see now where that title comes from. Stressful, what we just talked about, to mindful, noticing how I am, pausing, breathe, to joyful. Just start putting your attention inside, generate life, and then pour it outside. I want to see if I can find, yeah, this is what I'm looking for right here. This is your life, okay? Mind, your body, your emotions at your core, in there where we've been working today. And then everything follows from that. And my meditation teacher used to say, if you want to light up the room, the only thing you can do is light up the bulb. All you can do is light up the bulb. Once the bulb is lit up, it will put light out into the room. Okay? Same with your life. You want work to go well. You want your relationships to go well. You want to enjoy your time off. You want to feel close to God if you're religious in your devotional time, etc., etc. You want to be peaceful and improving your golf game or pickleball or whatever it is you do. Light up inside. Light it up the way we've been talking about. And it automatically goes out. And Newton's third law is any action you put out comes back to you equally. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction in the universe. So as you're putting out more life, more love, more joy, more appreciation, it's coming right back to you. All right, my friends, I think I will stop there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Professor Krieger. Yes, I'm in a new location. Professor Krieger knows I've been chasing Wi-Fi all day, so I had to chase it up here for the end of this. But I just wanted to say your positivity and really your aura of calm is really contagious and infectious, even through the virtual world. So it was really, really cool to listen to you. And before I did have a question or two, but before I do that, I just want to let people know, I put the CLE code into the chat. That is 6737. One general, I'm sorry, 1.5 general and 1.5 mental illness CLE credits. You will get that CLE code in the email from Zoom within 24 hours with a copy of this recording. And I believe we're going to do a PDF of the PowerPoint. And I've also put through the chat all of the books that were mentioned, links to Amazon. And with that, Professor Krieger, I know you mentioned you had a new article that you recently published. I think you might have touched on it. I'm sorry if I missed it. I'm always monitoring the chat and doing other things. But I'd love to include a copy of that, or a link to that article if that's possible as well for folks to check out.
Sure, I'll send you some of those things. What I'll do is I'll send you a link to the whole research study on the 6,200 lawyers. It's a free download. Because we looked at how many vacation days people took, how many children they had, if they were married or not, how much they were making, if they were public or private. And the numbers are really, so I'll send you some stuff. Thanks.
I would love that. And I think folks, who chimed in would love it too. I was going to say, I went to Florida State for undergrad and I was a philosophy major. And I took a class with Michael Bishop. I don't know if he's still there, but on well-being and happiness. And it was the first time that I learned apparently living in the big house out in the suburbs doesn't necessarily give you the happiness you think, because the small closet apartment in the city might be a 5-minute walk to your office, and that time that you have for yourself is really valuable. And I always remember that. Your lecture today just expanded upon that in a really practical way for folks who are in public service. And I can't thank you enough for that, for the public service that you've done in your time in the past, and the public service you're continuing to do by sharing this information with us.
Well, thank you. And I just really want to close by saying I equally appreciate everything every one of you lawyers are doing. It's wonderful work. It's definitely not paid as much as it should be, but who cares? If you're making ends meet, but so you guys are doing great work, and if this can be uplifting in some way. Just take two things away and start trying them. Try something.
And the last little housekeeping thing I'll put in here is for those interested in joining the public interest law section of the Florida Bar, there's the link. And also the next training that we're going to have is going to be on December 6th. And that is going to be about providing accessible legal services, essentially how to make your practice more accessible to folks with different varying disabilities, so with clients with different disabilities. So looking forward to seeing you there. And I'm going to take you up, Professor Figueron, and hopefully picking your brain another time because you were truly a wonder to listen to. And I'm going to be thinking a lot about everything we learned today for myself, and I hope that everybody else does too.
Thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see you all back in December for the next one. Bye.